All around us, in pretty much every field, every forest, every garden, there is a war going on. It's a conflict fought on a scale you can't even imagine, a silent, nonstop battle for survival. So let's step into this invisible world and see what this fight is all about. I mean, really picture that. You're looking out at this perfect, healthy field of crops just bursting with life. And then, almost out of nowhere, it just withers. It turns brown. It completely collapses into ruin. And this isn't some sci-fi movie scene. This is a very real thing for farmers and botanists all over the world. So what in the world could cause something so devastating so fast? I mean, is it a sudden drought? Some kind of bug infestation? Well, the answer is actually way more insidious. It's a threat you can't even see. That's right. The real culprit is an attacker that operates on a scale so tiny it's completely invisible to the naked eye. We're talking about a microscopic force that has a truly catastrophic impact. We call these enemies plant pathogens. You can think of them as microscopic saboteurs, fungi, bacteria, viruses, and they all have one single mission: to infect and destroy a plant. But what's really wild is that they don't just attack at random. Oh no, they have these incredibly sophisticated strategies, literal battle plans to completely overwhelm a plant's defenses. All right, let's look at their first major strategy. You can basically think of this as a full frontal assault. This is the strategy of polycyclic diseases, and it is all about overwhelming speed and force. And here's the key thing you gotta understand. Repetition. A polycyclic pathogen isn't happy with just one attack during a growing season. No way! It completes multiple life cycles, creating wave after wave after wave of new infections that just spread like wildfire. And this breakdown here shows the blitz perfectly. So it all starts with an initial infection. That's like the first soldier landing on the beach. Then boom, rapid reproduction kicks in, building an army. Next, you've got dispersal, where things like wind and rain carry thousands of new spores to all the neighboring plants. This, of course, leads to massive secondary infections, and then the whole cycle just repeats, growing bigger and faster with every single wave. But here's the thing. Not all pathogens use brute force. Some of them use a totally different playbook. Their strategy is way quieter, much more patient. This is the silent strike of what we call monocyclic diseases. So unlike that frenzied, repeating attack of their polycyclic cousins, monocyclic pathogens get just one infection cycle per season. They make their move once, but you better believe they make it count. The damage they cause is slow, it's methodical, and it often develops deep inside the plant, totally hidden from view. This timeline shows exactly how they pull it off. The first infection happens early in the season, often down in the soil, attacking the roots. Then, all through the middle of the season, the pathogen just grows slowly, clogging up the plant's insides. But on the surface, everything might still look totally fine. It's only at the very end of the season, when it's way, way too late to do anything about it, that the full devastating damage finally shows up. So let's just put them right next to each other. On one hand, you have the shock and awe of polycyclic diseases. They're fast, they're explosive, and they spread like crazy. And on the other hand, you've got the silent assassin of monocyclic diseases. Just one patient strike that causes this deep internal damage over a whole season. Two completely different strategies, but both have the same deadly goal. Now, understanding these strategies is really fascinating, but it's so important to remember the real-world stakes here. This isn't just some interesting science lesson. This is a constant war with huge consequences for our food supply, for entire ecosystems. Seriously, let that sink in for a minute. All the hard work of an entire planting season, a whole field, an entire harvest can be totally wiped out in a matter of days by an enemy you literally cannot even see. That is the kind of incredible power we're dealing with. And this really gets to a fundamental truth, doesn't it? The natural world isn't always peaceful and serene. It's a place of intense, brutal competition. For a plant, every single day is a fight against these invisible enemies. This is nature's dark and constant reality.